1. Then comes the business laws, Gulshan Kapoor. Then third book is regarding principles of mercantile law, Maheshwari and Maheshwari, and the last is mercantile and commercial laws, which is from Rohini Agrawal, which is from the Taxman. Alright, so starting with unit 1 now. So unit 1, as you know, it's more about the Indian Contract Act 1872, and so these are the topics which we are going to cover. I have already discussed in brief about these topics when we were referring to the syllabus. Okay, so I am now not wasting time on this and going directly on the subject matter. So before I start with the act, it's always good to know the history also. So the one wonderful thing about this act is that this Contract Act came into force on 1st September 1872. The next question comes, it's so old, it must be redundant by now. How can an act which is more than 150 years back can be used even today? Okay. So the point is that this act is very much relevant even today, because the way it has been written, it is very much relevant and pertinent even in these times. And if you see on the basis of the regulations in this act, yes. Guys, you need to be on time, okay. So the class starts at 9:15. So it's always requested to be here on time so that we can start together and we can end together. Okay. So 150 years back act is still very relevant. So if you see and you compare the kind of problems which we are facing in the contract, still this act gives you the solution and the answers, right? So though it may seems to be very old, but yeah, very much relevant and pertinent today. These are based on the generally accepted principles of English contract law, and so this contract is not a full-fledged act which we have developed, but yeah, it has been developed on the basis of what we have in the English contract law. The act recognizes freedom of contract. Now, what do this line means? This line can also be discussed from the fourth point which is there on the slide, which says, Sir William Anson said that the parties to a contract in a sense make the law for themselves. It simply shows that what kind of freedom do you have in terms of contract making. So contract law does not talk what kind of contract can you make. Okay, it gives you boundary of legality and accepted ways through which you can make a contract. And within that boundary, अगर मैं एक 4 wall बना दूँ, एक कमरा बना दूँ और कह दूँ इस कमरे के अंदर आप जो चाहे करो, ठीक है. Similarly, Contract Act gives you a framework within which you are 100% free to make your own terms and conditions. What will be the terms and condition? It can be very unique for every contract. Okay. So my contract will be totally different from your contract, but both contracts will be a valid one. Right. So we need to only understand those boundaries which are being drawn by the Contract Act to make a valid contract. So that is the reason it is being said that the act recognizes freedom of a contract. You can make anything what you want, and you are free to choose terms and conditions. Government will not interfere in your contract unless until it is breached or you report that something otherwise has happened with your contract because it has breached the boundaries. तो जब तक वो बाउंड्री ब्रीच नहीं हो रही है, nobody is going to come and interfere within your contractual terms and conditions. So let's see further. So section 2H, as per the section 2H, the contract has been defined as an agreement enforceable by law. An agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So what do this line mean? So technically there are two aspects which are mentioned in this definition, that is an agreement plus enforceability by the law. So if you want to make a contract, there should be an agreement and then there should be a enforceability by the law. I hope everybody is okay with English, or shall I use Hindi also? Yes. In case you want me to mix it, I can do that. In case you want me to stick with English, please do let me know so that I can continue. Okay, fine. Anybody for Hindi? No? Great. So there are two aspects of it. One is the agreement and the other is the enforceability. So now to understand what is contract, we need to understand what is agreement actually. And then the other aspect of it, that is the enforceability also. So if we understand what is agreement and also if we understand what is enforceability, we can understand what contract is all about, right? Okay, we will discuss what agreement is and enforceability is. Before that, there is a definition there is a definition given by Sir John Salmon, that is, a contract is an agreement creating and defining obligations between the parties. So this definition tells us that what agreement is all about. So agreement is nothing but defining the terms and conditions between the two contracting parties. What are these two contracting parties? So suppose there are two people, me and you all, okay, you, anybody from the class or maybe all of you, doesn't matter. So we two can be said to be a two contracting party. Party 1 can be me and party 2 can be you individually, or everybody collecting as an individual. So there can be two parties who can decide. So I can decide the terms and conditions and you can agree over that, or even you can propose the terms and condition and I can agree over that. Okay. So if we agree over a certain terms and conditions, then that is referred as a contract. Let's further see how agreement is defined in the Act. So section 2E and 2B has to be referred here. Section 2E says that every promise and every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is an agreement. Every promise and every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is an agreement. Okay. So that means in case I promise to do something and you promise to do certain things, that means we are now fixing the terms and condition. So as I say, I want to sell my pen, okay, and you also promise me to pay me 10 rupees for that pen. So I promise that if you pay me 10 rupees, I will give you my pen, and similarly you promise that if I give you pen, then you will pay me 10 rupees. So each other's promise is nothing but a agreement. When we promise to each other as a two contracting parties, there happens to be an agreement. So here there is an example written: if we buy a book for rupees 450 from a seller, then consideration to buy a book and to a seller is rupees 450. So agreement can technically be said as a promise plus a consideration. See, in my statement which I gave you as a pen example, I said I promise to give you my pen, and you said that you promise to give me 10 rupees, right? So for each of us there is a consideration. What is consideration? In short, you can understand, consideration is something which we get in return. Okay. So if I am giving you my pen, what I am getting in return is the 10 rupee note. Similarly, for your 10 rupee note, what you are getting in return is the pen. Okay. So there is a consideration. Both of us are getting something in return, and please mind it, since I am not going into consideration in very detail, but still please do remember, money is not the only kind of consideration. Okay. Beyond money, there can be many things which you can consider as a consideration. So but for now, I am taking money as a consideration because it is an easy example also to understand, unless until I go in detail and discuss what all considerations can be. Okay. So here I hope this example is very clear, that what is consideration and how promise plus consideration will make a valid agreement. Further, coming on promise, though I have discussed promise in short, but here section 2B describes promise in detail. It says, when a person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. A proposal when accepted becomes a promise. So first of all, please do understand the term proposal or offer is one and the same thing. So if you write the term offer or the proposal, it means the same thing. There is no technical difference into it. So promise means proposal plus acceptance. So as I said in my same example I am using, when I said that I will give you my pen if you pay me 10 rupees, let me rephrase my statement by saying, will you be interested in buying my pen for 10 rupees? I am rephrasing the statement. Now I am saying you in a form of offer. I am asking you whether you will be interested in buying my pen for 10 rupees. You are free to say yes and you are free to say no, right? The moment you say me no, there is no contract because you have rejected my offer or the proposal. Offer or proposal will become a promise only when you say yes to me. Okay, and if you say yes, we will be willing to buy your pen in 10 rupees, you are accepting my offer. And so offer plus acceptance is a promise. Now the moment you say yes, there is a promise from your side that if I give you my pen, you will pay me 10 rupees. It's a promise from your side, right? So this is promise. Going further, now summarizing the concepts. So in the first slide we saw what is contract, that is agreement plus enforceability, and we have been discussing only the first part of it. Abhi enforceability pe we haven't gone. So agreement then further is divided as promise plus consideration. Promise can also be written as offer plus acceptance. So there is an offer, you accept that offer, and along with that you agree to pay me also. ठीक है? You give me some consideration. In my case, 10 rupee note is my consideration. You agree for the consideration also, and so overall these three will make a agreement. There is an offer, there is an acceptance, and there is a consideration. These three things will make a agreement. Coming back, agreement plus enforceability. Now coming on the point of enforceability, what is this enforceability all about? Enforceability means that in case you breach means आप तोड़ देते हो, मुकर जाते हो, आप मना कर देते हो. Once you make a promise to me and later on you say no. Okay? Now see, my pen and this 10 rupee consideration may not look to be very big issue maybe, but just think the same scenario in case of business transactions. A person might be very much dependent on your promise. Maybe मेरा पेन का एग्जाम्पल इतना रेलेवेंट नहीं है बिकॉज आई वॉज नॉट एक्चुअली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू कि ठीक है सेल हो गया तो ठीक है, नहीं हुआ तो चलो किसी और से सेल कर देंगे. आई मे नॉट बी दैट सीरियस ऑल्सो अबाउट इट. But in case of business, suppose I do a trading with you for 10 lakh rupees and you said yes, I made our arrangement, and then later on you come and say no ma'am, sorry, I cannot arrange the money, I am not going to pay you. What will happen to me? मेरा तो सब loss हो गया because I made arrangement for those things which I promised to sell you, right? So your promise is very crucial in agreement. If you have made a promise, you need to also honor your promise. Okay? And so law is very strict about it. Law says if you have made a contract, you need to honor the contract as well. आप बाद में मना नहीं कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? And so if you say no, what will I do? मैं क्या करूँगी? मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ? So but obvious I cannot come to your house and do all that tod phod at your house. I cannot hit you, I cannot say anything you in public. So what can I do legally? मैं क्या करूँ आपसे वो पैसे लेने के लिए for which I have made arrangement? Just because of your promise I am suffering loss of 10 lakh rupees. क्या करूँ मैं? But obvious I will be very frustrated. So there is no point of going uncivil. Okay? The point is that you don't need to be uncivil. Go and approach the court, the code will forcefully ask you to honor the contract. और in case you are not in a condition, अब अगर आपके पास सही में 10 लाख नहीं है, so क्या करेंगे? आपकी जान तो नहीं ले सकते उस 10 लाख के लिए. So what the code will say? The code will say कि damage pay करो. Whatever loss you have created to me, honor that loss. Pay some kind of compensation, some kind of remedy will be made available to me so that I can minimize my loss, right? So there is no point to being uncivil. You need to legally handle the matter, and you will be able to legally handle only when there is an enforceability in your contract. So agreement alone cannot be enforceable. Agreement alone may not be enforceable. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई इन्वाइट ऑल ऑफ यू आफ्टर दिस कोर्स इज़ ओवर फॉर अ टी और अ कॉफ़ी. मैंने कहा नीचे बहुत अच्छी, मैंने आते हुए देखा एक कुछ ग्रीन कैंटीन या कैफेटेरिया करके कुछ लिखा हुआ था. सो मैंने सोचा ठीक है, वी हैव स्टडीड टुगेदर, वी हैव स्पेंड 30-40 आवर्स टुगेदर लर्निंग एंड टीचिंग. सो कोर्स कंप्लीट हो गया, चलो एक दिन साथ में बैठ के चाय कॉफ़ी पीते हैं. ओके फिर पता नहीं कब मुलाकात हो. आप सबने कहा ठीक है मैडम लास्ट डे चलेंगे. बस लास्ट डे आपके अपने प्लान्स बन गए. आपने कहा मैडम के साथ टाइम वेस्ट करने से अच्छा है लेट्स गो एंड एंजॉय टुगेदर. ठीक है, आप में से कोई नहीं आया. मैडम नीचे वेट कर रही थी कैफेटेरिया में बड़ी देर से बैठ के कि बच्चे आएंगे आएंगे. बच्चे 15 मिनट लेट आएंगे बट आएंगे. बच्चे नहीं आए. ठीक है, मैंने ऑफ़र दिया फॉर द टी, यू एक्सेप्टेड द ऑफर फॉर द टी और कॉफ़ी. आई वेटेड देयर एंड यू डिड नॉट टर्न अप. तो प्रॉमिस ऑफर था, एक्सेप्टेंस था, ठीक है, कंसिडरेशन भी था. सिंस आई एम नॉट अभी गोइंग वेरी मच इनटू डिटेल अबाउट द कंसिडरेशन, बट कंसिडरेशन भी है. यू डिड नॉट टर्न अप. व्हाट शैल आई डू? शैल आई गो टू द कोर्ट एंड सू ऑल ऑफ यू? नहीं. व्हाई नॉट? Who said that enforceability will always be there in the business transactions only? See, largely we think that business transactions will be more of a serious nature, but personal क्या कोई contract हो ही नहीं सकता. So shall I sue or shall I not? Shall I go and approach the court? इन बच्चों ने जो है मुझे धोखा दिया, they did not. हाँ, मेरे इमोशंस को हर्ट किया और मेरे इमोशन की वैल्यू थी 10 करोड़. ऐसा कोई प्रॉमिस मत करना. सो इन केस इन द एंड आई आस्क यू फॉर अ टी और कॉफ़ी, डायरेक्टली से नो. सो यू डोंट मेक अ प्रॉमिस टू मी, और इफ़ यू मेक अ प्रॉमिस डू ऑनर इट. ठीक है. सो चलो अभी वी विल स्टडी मोर अबाउट ऑल दीज एस्पेक्ट्स. ओके, so that is the reason why Contract Act is very interesting also, since you know it gives you such a kind of freedom that you really enjoy to sometime refer the cases. अभी जैसे मैंने ये चाय कॉफ़ी का बोला, so we need to have a clarity, is it a valid contract or not a valid contract or just an agreement? If it is just an agreement, technically I just cannot enforce it. ठीक है, but अगर ये contract बन गया तो मैं इसको enforce कर सकती हूँ. So we need to understand that how to make a contract so that it is enforceable, whether I should have a intention for that. To be very honest, intention can be expressly expressed. मैं आपको ये बोल सकती हूँ सी अगर आप नहीं आए ना तो मैं ये आपके अगेंस्ट कुछ करूँगी. Then when I am making a proposal and I am telling you that you have to be there, it means that I am really very serious and I have communicated. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं चुप हूँ. I have communicated, I have told you. Even then if you accept, then there is a contract, right? In many cases, the law says that what a normal person will think about a situation, that is a base of checking enforceability in cases where it is silent. जैसे मेरा पहले वाला केस था वो साइलेंट है. मैंने बोला नहीं कि तुम नहीं आओगे तो मैं क्या करूँगी. अगर मैं बता देती कि आप नहीं आओगे तो मैं कोर्ट केस करूँगी तो आपके लिए प्रॉब्लम थी. बट सिंस आई वॉज साइलेंट, सो वॉट अ नॉर्मल ह्यूमन बीइंग will think about my situation. whether the person will take it as a contract or an agreement, that will be the basis of the judgment. Okay, so enforceability, in case you want to be on a safer side, आपको लगता है कि आपको ये बहुत ज़रूरी चीज़ है, करनी है, then better express your intention to make it enforceable. Just tell a person that, see, I am very serious about it and this has to be honored. Okay, then you have already shown your intention and so enforceability will always be there. लेकिन जहाँ पे आप quiet हो जाते हो, largely it may be seen in case of personal contracts. In business contracts also this situation may arise. So in case you think personal contracts are agreements and business contracts are contracts, so sorry, you are wrong here in that case. अगर ऐसा होता तो मैं यहाँ पे आपको पढ़ाती contract, सभी business contract होते हैं और सभी personal जो agreements हैं वो agreements होते हैं. But I am not teaching you something like that. It means any kind of situation may be there in personal or business contracts also. Now the next thing, while making a contract, what do you think that it should be in a form? Whether it can be made orally or whether it has to be made written? Any idea? हाँ, written होना चाहिए. But अभी तो चाय कॉफ़ी की बात verbal हुई ना, तो मतलब जैसे मैं कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करूं, पहले एक मैं कागज़ लेके आऊं, फटाफट साइन करो, ऐसा करवाना ज़रूरी है? कागज़ मीन्स आई विल आस्क यू टू साइन ऑल्सो, अदरवाइज व्हाट्स द सेंस ऑफ राइटिंग इट, राइट? तो मैं लिख के दूंगी कि मैं चाय पे आपको बुला रही हूँ इस तारीख को इतने बजे और सबके सब साइन करो इसके ऊपर, ठीक है? सो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स कैन बी वर्बल एंड कैन बी रिटन ऑल्सो. अगर आप written में बनाते हो, then the terms and conditions are very much fixed, right? Because you are writing it, documenting it, and both the party can read it, understand it, and then they agree to it. तभी promise बनता है, and then they sign it also. But in case of verbal contracts, yes, these are equally honored in the eyes of law. So it cannot be said that verbal contracts are not a contract and written contracts are contract. It's a wrong statement to make. Verbal contracts are equally enforceable as you have written contracts with you. अभी दोनों में difference कहाँ आता है? कहाँ पे क्या अच्छा है? So in case you want to have enforceability and you want to fix what terms and conditions you agreed and want to have a proof, तो written बना लो. Wherever you make a oral contract, that is also good, and please do believe me, many business contracts even today are done on verbal basis only. करोड़ों की dealings हो जाती हैं सिर्फ एक phone call के basis पे. So if you think that only the written contracts has enforceability and has some sense, no. If you go and talk to the people who are doing business, करोड़ों की dealing सिर्फ phone पे हो जाती हैं. मुझे इतने का सामान भेज दो, वो इतना का सामान जी 10 करोड़ का है, भेज दो. दूसरे ने भेज दिया, and so you are liable. And why they trust? Because there is a contract. Okay? So there is always a business rule which everybody who does that has to follow it. ठीक है? तो ये मत सोचना कि verbal है तो problem है. Now the only issue in the verbal contracts may arise if you witness a breach and you approach the court. Then there will be a little problem to prove that what was offered and what was accepted. Okay, then there can be little problem. But people who are into the businesses or who are actually using these verbal contracts in the businesses, they very well know that once they breach it and the other party is not able to prove it in the court, no other person will do a business with you, because there is a direct harm on the reputation. आप एक पार्टी को आप ब्रीच करके धोखा दे सकते हो, आपको रहना तो उसी बिजनेस में है. सारे लोग बिजनेस बंद कर देंगे because the moment they know that your verbal contract or words does not has a value, आप तो कभी भी मुकर जाते हो बोल के. Nobody will do business because largely many businesses are done verbally and over phone call also. So you need to understand that your words has a value and that value has to be represented by a proper conduct. अगर आप ब्रीच करते हो तो आप उस बिजनेस से बाहर हो जाओगे वर्बल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स के बेसिस पे, राइट? सो एवरीथिंग इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, वर्ड्स एंड रिटन. Now coming on parties to an agreement. So as I told you that there are generally two kinds of two parties in any contract. That is one a promiser and the other is a promisee. So technically it can be said as a person making a proposal or offer is known as a promiser or offerer or a proposer. No matter what term you use, all carry the same meaning. Offer use करते हो तो offerer हो गया, proposal use करते हो तो proposer हो गया. Promise के terms में in case you talk, then it's a promiser or a promisee. Simply in a promisee case, a person accepting the proposal offer is known as a promisee, offeree or acceptor. Discussion point. All contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contract. आप में से अगर कोई, जितना मैंने क्लास में डिस्कशन किया है, इन केस ऑन दैट बेसिस यू कैन डू सम डिस्कशन और यू कैन टेल मी द आंसर फॉर दिस. ऑल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स आर अग्रीमेंट बट ऑल अग्रीमेंट्स आर नॉट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. यस, agreements can be accepted or rejected, but contracts are accepted agreements. Okay, थोड़ा सा गलत है बिकॉज अग्रीमेंट्स के केस में भी ऑफर एंड एक्सेप्टेंस होती है. Anybody want to say anything?
एग्रीमेंट में एनफोर्सिबिलिटी होती है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में एनफोर्सिबिलिटी है और
अग्रीमेंट में नहीं होती है. एंड यस, इतना कुछ हमने क्लास में डिस्कस किया, इतने इसका आंसर देने के लिए सफिशिएंट डिस्कस किया है. तो मुझे थोड़ा सा बताओ, थोड़ा डिटेल में बताओ. Am I not teaching well or you are not able to understand if you are not speaking? Guys, I am not here to speak for 2 hours. आप भी थोड़ा सा बोल सकते हैं. हाँ, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स वर्बल नहीं हो सकते. अभी इतनी देर मैंने बताया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स भी वर्बल हो सकते हैं. अभी इतनी देर से यही तो समझा रही थी कि कुछ भी वर्बल हो सकता है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वर्बल हो सकता है. व्हेन डिड आई से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कैन नॉट बी वर्बल? मैं समझा नहीं पा रही हूँ कि आप लोग समझ नहीं पा रहे हो. मुझे बताओ सो दैट आई कैन इम्प्रूव. मैंने कहा क्लास में कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वर्बल नहीं हो सकते हैं, नहीं बोला ना? चलो देखो, अग्रीमेंट्स आर मच वाइडर इन नेचर because in agreement you need to have only offer plus acceptance. There should be one person who should propose and the other person should agree over that. But अगर इसी के साथ में अगर enforceability आ जाती है, ठीक है, तो कोई भी agreement contract में बदल जाता है. So agreements are much wider and contracts are subset of the agreements. तो हम कह सकते हैं contracts are those parts of the agreements which are enforceable also. There can be different agreements which may be there but they are not enforceable. तो agreements much wider हैं और contracts उस थोड़ा सा narrow है concept. Okay? and so all the contracts are certainly agreement, because unless until a contract is an agreement, it may not become a contract. तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनने के लिए हमें पहले क्या चाहिए, अग्रीमेंट चाहिए, अग्रीमेंट होगा तभी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनेगा. सेकेंड पार्ट, बट ऑल अग्रीमेंट्स आर नॉट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. ट्रू, ओनली दोज अग्रीमेंट्स विच आर इन्फोर्सिबल इन नेचर विल बिकम अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. बहुत सारे अग्रीमेंट्स ऐसे होंगे जो सिर्फ अग्रीमेंट ही होंगे. ठीक है, जैसे मैंने आपको चाय पे बुलाया, वो क्या था, वो सिर्फ एक अग्रीमेंट था. आई कैन नॉट एक्चुअली सू यू बिकॉज मेरा इंटेंशन नहीं था. वी वॉन्टेड टू मीट फ्रेंडली, but in case I wanted to invite you seriously and I had that intention in mind, I should have communicated. क्योंकि अगर सिर्फ इतना मैं बोलूँ I wanted to have a tea or coffee with you and you did not turn up, what a normal person will think, क्योंकि मैंने यहाँ expressly बताया नहीं था. What a normal person will think, ठीक है नहीं गए, इतना कुछ बड़ा reason नहीं था enforceability के लिए, and so the judge will say there was no enforceability and hence not a contract. So all contracts are certainly an agreement, because to make a contract you need to make an agreement first. But सारे agreement contract में convert नहीं होंगे. Some of them will remain only agreement. Okay? Coming on next, essential elements of a valid contract. Section 10. So as I told you, that under this act what we have to understand it, what are the boundaries within which we need to make our contract. ठीक है, so now we are reaching on that. What are the essential elements to make a valid contract, what you need to keep in mind while making a contract, so that you make a proper contract. पता चला आपने contract बनाया, ठीक है, उसमें enforceability नहीं रही, you wanted to make a valid one, लेकिन आपका इन्फोर्सिबिलिटी तो चलो आप बोल के भी बता सकते हो, लेकिन आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ही गलत बन गया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ़ आई डोंट नो, आई कैन से दैट चलो मैं आप लोगों के साथ एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करना चाहती हूँ, दैट इज़ अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ किलिंग वाइल्ड लाइफ. ठीक है, मैंने आपको कहा कि आप जाओ, आप जंगल में जाओ और मेरे को 2 जानवर मार के ले आओ, मुझे उसकी स्किन चाहिए और मैं आपको 50 लाख रुपए पे करूँगी. मेरा आपके बीच में कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गया. कुछ ऐसी प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है. मैंने आपको कहा मुझे स्किन चाहिए जानवरों की एंड आई विल पे यू 50 लाख, यू अग्रीड फॉर दैट. बट इज़ इट अ वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट? सो इन्फोर्सेबिलिटी भी है. मैंने साथ में ये भी बोला, इन केस यू डोंट गेट मी द स्किन ऑफ द एनिमल्स इन से 5 days, आई विल सू यू इन द कोर्ट. आई गॉट इट रिटन ऑल्सो, चलो टू मेक इट मोर लुक लाइक वैलिड वन. ठीक है, but then it is not a valid contract because I cannot legally do this. Killing animal is a crime. I am asking you to do a crime. How can it be a valid contract? There can no valid contract of such nature, right? So enforceability is there because I wrote in the written contract that you have to get it in 5 days or else I will sue you. But that is not making it a valid contract, because I cannot make a contract of killing somebody, maybe human being or animal, to and cannot make a valid contract. So there can be different aspects of contract also which may make it valid or invalid, and so we need to understand that. So technically there are 2 sections which we need to understand here. Is section 2H, which I discussed initially, and then that is section 10. So let's see one by one. So section 2H talks about 2 aspects, offer and acceptance, which is an agreement. So there should be a proper offer and a proper acceptance. Second is the intention to create legal obligation. This also I have discussed with you. So as I told you that contractual intention is objective but not subjective. Not what parties had in mind, but what a reasonable person would think their intention to be in that circumstances. जैसे मैंने चाय के लिए बोला, ठीक है. So what a normal person will think कि मैडम को intention नहीं थी, and so ultimately it will only be a agreement, not a contract. And so for showing the intention, we have 3 cases here which we can discuss. बाल्फर वर्सेस मिसेस बाल्फर, दैट इज़ अ सोशल ऑब्लिगेशन. सो जिसको भी अभी भी कन्फ्यूजन है कि बिजनेस की डीलिंग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होती है और नॉन बिजनेस की नहीं होती है, प्लीज़ डू रेफर टू दीज केसेस अगेन. ठीक है, ये कन्फ्यूजन मत रखना. बिजनेस एंड पर्सनल ऑब्लिगेशन काइंड ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स both can happen, and in both legality, in both cases legal obligation can be missing also. So let's see what is this case. Please do read this case. ठीक है, केस पढ़ लिया. So what do you think? Is a contract or not? हाँ, वाइफ ने सू कर दिया. सो व्हाट विल बी द डिसीजन ऑफ द कोर्ट? ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है तो जज बोलेगा कि पेमेंट करो, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं है तो जज बोलेगा पेमेंट मत करो. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, इट्स अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और नॉट अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट? हाँ, not a contract. How many of you are saying not a contract? Please raise your hand. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Others are saying contract है. I am assuming that. ठीक, let's see. Guys, on a daily basis at home we keep on making promises. ठीक है, so many times your father must have said जब हम छोटे थे कि when I'll return home I'll get a chocolate for you. ठीक है, because morning you were crying, मुझे चॉकलेट खानी है. So your dad said बेटा अभी चुप हो जाओ, in the evening when I'll return from the office मैं चॉकलेट लेके आऊँगा. और पापा जी ऑफिस गए और फिर क्या हुआ, वो भूल गए और वो शाम को घर आ गए. तो अगर तुम ऐसे ही करोगे तो रोज़ किसी पापा के ऊपर एक कोर्ट केस हो रहा होगा. ठीक है, देर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स विच वी प्रॉमिस टू आवर पेरेंट्स. ओके, व्हेन वी स्टेप आउट समटाइम्स आवर मदर सेज ये चीज़ लेते आना, एंड आई से हाँ 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 मैं ज़रूर ले आऊँगी, मैं भूलूँगी नहीं, पक्का प्रॉमिस है मम्मी. ठीक है, और शाम को बेटा जी घर पहुँचे सब भूल के. राइट? So on a daily basis we keep on doing many things, but again I am saying it does not mean that what you promise at home may not be legally binding. I am again telling you, you need to see case by case, instance by instance, right? Next case, please read this. ओके, कितने कह रहे हैं कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं है? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 others are saying it's a contract और कितने ऐसे हैं जिनको नहीं कुछ भी नहीं कहना वन हैंड अप टू हैंड अप अरे भाई सही बोलो गलत बोलो कुछ तो बोलो हाँ अभी तक मैंने ब्लड रिलेशन वाली बात ही कब बोली ब्लड रिलेशन तो हस्बैंड वाइफ में भी नहीं होता बेटा तो ये तो तुम बहुत ही अलग स्टेटमेंट बोल रहे हो अब इन केस यू से दिस तो फिर बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा माना राखी आ रही है बट आई डोंट वांट टू बिकम सिस्टर ऑफ माय हस्बैंड राइट हाँ ऐसे मत करो तुम लोग so okay let's go ahead I hope you have decided whether it's a contract or not right chalo yes so it's a different from the previous one right so it's a very obvious thing that in case we decide कि चलो हम पैसे पूल करके कहीं कुछ करते हैं वहाँ से कुछ रिटर्न में मिल जाएगा so you will expect to divide it right नॉर्मल इंसान डिवीजन चाहेगा ठीक है अभी देयर वाज सम न्यूज़ maybe 1 week 10 days or a month back somewhere few females who were doing some cleaning job probably I might be little wrong in my facts मैंने न्यूज़ में कहीं पढ़ा था and after reading this case that I got reminded of that so there were few females maybe 10 they pooled some money and they got a lottery ticket I think आपने पढ़ा है वो न्यूज़ they won a huge amount कुछ उन्हें काफ़ी big amount का winning हो गया so but obvious they will divide right they should divide and they should be dividing it कल को कोई कहे जिसके नाम पे भरा सिर्फ मैं ही सारा रख लूँ so it's not fair so same way here it's not fair though it's a kind of again अगर आप कहो कि डोमेस्टिक था तो मदर हैं डॉटर हैं पेइंग गेस्ट हैं ठीक है चलो पेइंग गेस्ट still an outside person but the mother daughter is also there and they may like to divide it हाँ बचपन में करी गई चीज़ें कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअली बाइंडिंग नहीं होती हैं ठीक है नेक्स्ट केस गाइस प्लीज डू रीड इट बताइए क्या किया जाएगा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और नॉट अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर सेइंग नो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 others are saying it's a contract they have expressly written as I said ज़रूरी नहीं है बिजनेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में इंटेंशन का होना So if you are making a business contract and you simply say that I don't intend to, enforceability is not there, right? I hope it's clear whatever I discussed in the class yet. Coming on next, that is section 10 features. So अभी हम section 2H कर रहे थे. Now we are starting with section H features. We to understand what is a valid contract elements. So first is the free consent. Now these things we have to very much discuss in detail also, because free consent, there are much more than just a free consent. इसके beyond काफ़ी चीज़ें discuss करनी होती हैं, and so we need to understand what is free consent. Now as I offer you something, suppose I say will you be willing to buy my pen, offer. If you say yes, contract बना, if you say no, नहीं बना, ठीक है. But your yes or no should be free, independent, your own decision, your own judgment, right? But if your decision is impacted by some other person, then it is not a free consent. कैसे? Right? So take a big deal in, suppose you have some kind of property with you. 10 रुपए के लिए तो मैं तुमको नहीं मारूंगी, but हाँ 10 करोड़ के लिए I can think. So if you have a big property and we are doing that dealing, so I made a contract कि I want to buy your land. You did not approach me. I said I want to buy your land, say in 10 lakh rupees. You said ma'am मेरा ज़मीन जो है ना 25 करोड़ का है and you're buying in 10 lakh. मैंने एक गन निकाली और मैंने आपके यहाँ रखा, मैंने कहा साइन करो and that's all. But obvious, as a logical person you will sign. Anybody will sign. If a gun is put here, you will sign, right? But then the problem is that in this contract your acceptance is not a free consent. Your acceptance is under coercion. Coercion मतलब आपको डरा के वो आपकी acceptance ली गई है. So offer and acceptance has to be a free one, right? And also there can be other way described, that we all should understand the terms and conditions in the same sense also, right? Suppose I said, in business dealings at times 10 lakh, 10 crore, these terms are not used. I hope you must have witnessed some situation where some code languages are being used. For example, if you go and buy a house, the dealer will say ये घर ना 1 रुपए का है. Have you ever heard these terminologies? ये घर 1 रुपए का है, ठीक है. 1 rupee means 1 CR, right? So आप चलो डीलर थे, आपने बोला मैडम ये घर 1 रुपए का है. मैडम पढ़ी लिखी निकली, उनको 1 रुपया का मतलब 1 रुपया ही समझ में आया. ठीक है, फिर क्या होगा? कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होगा. लेटर ऑन I pay you 1 rupee and said okay sign करो कागज़ पे. You say madam 1 rupee is 1 CR and I will say what? I agreed to buy it because you said it's 1 rupee, right? So we should understand the terms of contract in the same sense also. Otherwise the problem is that I offered something different, you accepted something different. When the offer and acceptance are for different terms and conditions, there cannot be a contract, right? Coming on next, competency of parties. I just recently said that in case you were a minor, you cannot make a contract. Okay, so Contract Act talks about specifically 3 kinds of people whose competency is little limited for a contract. That is number 1, the minor. Why I am using the term limited? Because largely it is said that minor is not competent to contract, but yeah, in some cases, as in exceptional cases, a minor can do a contract also. So competency is limited. Why? Now it is a general accepted fact that till the time you are minor, you may come under influence of somebody very easily. एक टॉफ़ी दे करके एक बच्चे से कहीं पे भी साइन करवाया जा सकता है, और बिना टॉफ़ी दिए भी बच्चा बेचारा कर देगा साइन. सो टॉफ़ी भी देने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, वो कर देगा. ठीक है. सो अ माइनर इज़ नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज़ गुड एंड व्हाट इज़ बैड फॉर हिम और हर, may not take a conscious decision, and so it's the responsibility of the state to take care of the minor's benefit. ठीक है, ये सरकार की जिम्मेदारी है कि एक छोटे बच्चे के हित का ध्यान रखा जाए. एंड सो अ माइनर इज नॉट कॉम्पिटेंट टू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. एक्सेप्शंस आर देयर, बट वील सी द एक्सेप्शंस लेटर. Similarly, for unsound mind person, if a person is of unsound mind, same thing applies for that person also. Person has no understanding, no logic, and so an unsound mind person can do any kind of contract. उसको पता ही नहीं है वो क्या साइन कर रहा है, वो किस चीज़ के लिए अग्री कर रहा है. Okay. The third, persons disqualified by law. So we will see who are the persons disqualified by the law. Okay. And one example can be an alien enemy. अगर भारत का किसी देश के साथ में लड़ाई हो जाए और उस कंट्री के लोगों के साथ आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करोगे, तो थोड़े दिन के लिए जब तक वॉर चल रही है वो डिस्क्वालिफाइड है. तो द पर्सन इज नॉट हैविंग एनी काइंड ऑफ इशू, बट देन यू नो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज अ काइंड ऑफ प्रोटेक्टिंग एजेंसी फॉर अस. गवर्नमेंट है इसलिए हम सेफ हैं, गवर्नमेंट नहीं है तो हम अनसेफ हैं. So if the government says that we are at war, in that situation your interest cannot be kept over the interest of the country. ठीक है, सबसे पहले कंट्री का इंटरेस्ट आता है, उसके बाद लोगों का इंटरेस्ट आता है. So if your country is at stake, but obvious my personal rights has no value in front of that. Okay. So competency of parties comes the third thing, consideration. Consideration I have discussed little bit with you. I told you that what is consideration. Quid pro quo word use किया जाता है, and it means consideration is something in return for the promise. So what you are getting return for a promise? If I am getting another promise, that can be also a consideration. My happiness can also be a consideration. Okay. Money can also be a consideration. Largely people see money as a big consideration because it's very much easy also to understand. As I gave you my first example, will you be buying my pen for 10 rupees? बड़ी आसानी किससे किसी को समझ में आ जाता है that you will get a pen and I will get 10 rupees, right? So that is a consideration. Coming on next, अच्छा, for the consideration there is one aspect which you need to keep it in mind. There should be a consideration. It's a sufficient or insufficient consideration that the two parties has to decide. The government is not going to interfere here. मैं आपको, मेरा पेन है 100 रुपये का, but I am willing to give you in 10 rupees. Why the government will have any problem? If I am willing to, then fine, I can give you in free also. I can promise जो भी क्लास के टेस्ट में 10 मार्क्स लाएगा मैं उसको पेन दूंगी. पेन कॉस्टेड मी 100 रुपीज़. आई एम नॉट इवन गेटिंग 1 रुपी फ्रॉम यू नाउ. बट गवर्नमेंट को प्रॉब्लम होगी, किसी को दुनिया में प्रॉब्लम होगी? द आंसर इज सर्टेनली नो. इफ आई एम डूइंग इट फ्रीली फ्रॉम माई ओन सेंस विद ऑल माई लॉजिक, देर इज़ नो प्रॉब्लम विद टू एनी बडी, राइट? आइडली देखो, अगर ये मैं बिजनेस की तरह कर रही होती तो 100 रुपये को पेन को I would have liked to sell it above 100 rupees. But I am free to make a loss also. If I am free to make a profit, I am free to make a loss also, right? So I can simply say, though my pen is of 100 rupees, but I want to give it in 10 rupee, what is the harm? Right? What is the harm? There is no harm. And so consideration has to be there. वो कम है, ज़्यादा है, that is to be decided by the two consenting parties, and the government has no objection to it. Consideration होना ज़रूरी है, that is true, and as I said, my happiness can also be a consideration. So if I say I am giving my pen free to you, whosoever tops in the examination, that is my happiness. मुझे क्या मिला? आपको पेन दे के मुझे क्या मिला in return? That is my happiness. What you got is the pen. Next comes as lawful object and consideration. So when I started my lecture, I said that can I make a contract of murder with you? The answer is certainly no. The point came from here, unlawful object and consideration. ठीक है? I cannot make a contract for anything for which the government say no to me as a public policy or by any rule or regulation. So government has prohibited certain kinds of trade, certain kinds of activities. मर्डर तो चलो बहुत बड़ी बात हो गई, क्या मैं और आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर सकते हैं चोरी करने का किसी के घर में जाके? के नॉट. मर्डर तो फिर भी एक लेवल हायर ही है, चोरी तो चलो कर सकते हैं लेकिन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं. So anything what is the subject matter of your contract has to be very much legal. I cannot do something illegal by making a contract. Similarly, my consideration also has to be legal. मैंने कहा यहाँ एक घर में चलते हैं, चोरी करते हैं, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं, ठीक है, हमने एक्चुअली में चोरी करी, फिर हमने डिसाइड किया था वट एवर वी आर गोइंग टू स्टील वी आर गोइंग टू डिवाइड 50-50. मैंने नहीं किया. Can you go to the court? No. First of all, object is unlawful, and secondly, चलो object lawful भी होता but consideration unlawful अगर है, you cannot approach the court for 50-50, right? Next, agreements expressly declared to be illegal or void. So section 24 to 30 talks about different kinds of agreements which are declared illegal or void by the act itself. एक्ट ने कह दिया ये करोगे तो इलीगल है, सो बेटर डोंट डू इट. वी विल ऑल्सो डिस्कस इन डिटेल बट सम ऑफ द एग्जाम्पल्स कैन बी रेस्ट्रेन टू मैरिज और ट्रेड. वी द इंडियन पीपल आर फ्री टू मैरी whomsoever we want to. Similarly, after growing up, what occupation I will select, that is my choice. मैं क्या बिजनेस करूँगी ये मेरी फ्रीडम है. I can go into a gold business, I can go into a grain business, I can go into any other form of trade also. That's my choice. So if somebody makes a contract to restrict it, मैं कहती हूँ कि इस कम्युनिटी के इंसान से शादी नहीं करनी, do a contract with me. It's a unlawful or a void contract. Similarly, if I say that ये काम नहीं करना, then also it's a void kind of contract. It has no worth in the eyes of law. So even if you do it, maybe freely, आपको पता नहीं था, आपने sign कर दिया, maybe freely also, but this will not hold good in the law. So if somebody approaches the court for breaching it, it has no worth. Similarly, possibility of performance also has to be seen. मैं आपसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करूं कि चलो आज खाने का कुछ कंपटीशन करते हैं, जो विन करेगा उसको मैं इतने पैसे दूंगी, और खाना क्या है, आपको 10,000 गुलाब जामुन खाने हैं, ठीक है. इज़ इट रियली अ पॉसिबल थिंग टू डू? नो, राइट. आप मेरे लिए तारे तोड़ के लाओगे तो मैं ये करूँगी, पॉसिबिलिटी? नो, राइट. Nobody can get a star humanly to somebody, ठीक है. So not a possibility. So any contract, the terms and conditions, if those are something of that nature which is not possible to be performed at all, then the contract has no worth, right, and they will be known as agreements which are illegal or which are void kind of. So apart from 2H which we discussed, offer, acceptance and enforceability, if these additional section 10 features you are fulfilling in your contract, then your contract will be a valid contract. Now the point is, though these conditions looks to be very simple and clear, but as you have already seen 3 cases, you can understand that applicability of these terms and conditions because of our innovative minds can be very technical in nature sometimes. हम इसको इतना difficult बना सकते हैं, तो कई बार हमें समझने की ज़रूरत है that how to make an offer, ठीक है, हाउ टू मेक एन एक्सेप्टेंस. मैंने मन में सोचा पेन दूंगी, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बन गया क्या? ठीक है, आपने मन में सोचा कि मैम पेन देंगी तो मैं ले लूँगा या ले लूँगी, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बन गया क्या? आपने सपना देखा, यू मेड मी पेमेंट ऑफ 10 रुपीज़, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बन गया क्या? ठीक है, सो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड लिटिल मोर इन डिटेल about these terms and conditions to make a valid contract, right? So we have to further move on. Before we go into depth, we need to understand the classification of contracts. What are the different kinds of contracts which we have to study? See, by and large, the contract is a contract which we discussed. But then based on different aspects of studying a contract, we can divide it. The first and foremost which we have to study is the basis of enforceability. कौन से contract को आप enforce कर सकते हो और किसको नहीं कर सकते हो, ठीक है? So on that basis we have to study these. Then comes the basis of formation, express, implied or static or quasi or constructive. On the basis of performance, executed contract or executory contract, and on the basis of obligation, unilateral and bilateral. So let's go ahead. So classification of contract based on enforceability, part 1, that is what is a valid contract. So abhi tak I hope that you must have understood what is a valid contract. So a contract which satisfied essential conditions of section 10 and 2H are known as valid contract. That means you make a valid offer, you make a valid acceptance, you make enforceable contract, then free consent is there, consideration is there, okay, and all other essentials of section 10. Then it is a very valid contract. Coming on void contract, ठीक है, void contract. So a contract which ceases to be enforceable by law becomes void when it ceases to be enforceable. तो आपने बनाया तो valid contract था, लेकिन कुछ समय के बाद उसकी enforceability ख़त्म हो गई, तो वो enforceable नहीं रह गया. So it is now known as void contract. Okay. It may happen because of many reasons. For example, supervening impossibility, जब बनाया तो possible था, अब आज पॉसिबल नहीं रह गया, ठीक है. सब्सीक्वेंट इलीगैलिटी, जब बनाया तो लीगल था, लेकिन बाद में गवर्नमेंट में कुछ चेंज आ गया रेगुलेशन के, तो वो इलीगल हो गया, ठीक है. थर्ड एग्जाम्पल, इट कैन बी कंटीजेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. कंटीजेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आर द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विच इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन हैपनिंग ऑफ सर्टन इवेंट. वो इवेंट ही नहीं हुआ तो वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी वॉइड हो गया. सो व्हेन यू मेड इट, इट वाज अ वैलिड, but later on because of happening of certain event, it became a void contract. So for example here, X agrees to sell his dog to Y for ₹5,000, but the dog died. तो आपसे मैंने contract किया कि भाई मेरा एक dog है, please do buy it in कितना रुपया, 5,000 rupees. Okay, fine. You said ठीक है मैम, I will come and take your dog tomorrow and I will pay you 5,000 tomorrow. Today we met with this term condition. We promised, and so the contract is there. I promised कि कल आप आओगे तो I will hand over my dog to you, and you promised that you will pay me. Contract is there, very much legal, कोई problem नहीं है, ठीक. Consideration है, free will है, सब कुछ है. By evening my dog met with an accident. मर गया. अभी contract का क्या होगा? Contract will become void. This is not a breach kind of situation. Breach का मतलब आपने contract को तोड़ दिया. It's not a breach. Breach happens when you breach it from your own will. मैं बोलूँ कि अब मुझे अपने dog को sell नहीं करना, अब मुझे 5,000 नहीं चाहिए. It's a breach. But if the dog died, what can I do? I cannot, make my dog alive again. And so contract is a void one. Coming on next, voidable contract. An agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one or more parties thereto, but not at the option of other, is voidable contract. Such a contract come into existence where consent of one or more parties are not free. For example, X promises to sell his scooter to Y for rupees 5 lakh. However, the consent of X has been procured by Y at a gunpoint. अभी सपोज एक्स वाई को करके छोड़ें, हम अपना ले लें, ठीक है. आपने ज़बरदस्ती मुझे एक गन दिखाई और कहा अपनी स्कूटर सेल कर दो, बट ऑब्वियस आई विल अग्री टू इट. सो एवरीथिंग इज देयर एक्सेप्ट अ फ्री कंसेंट. I did not make a free offer. You made me offer at a gun point. ठीक है, आप ही ने ऑफर किया कि आपकी स्कूटर मुझे सेल करो at a gun point. So you made an offer and I have to accept that offer. Now the problem is that the contract happened, but then it happened at a gun point. Ideally it's not a valid contract, but then the law says that it's a voidable contract at my option. आपने ज़बरदस्ती तो करी, लेकिन सपोज मैं भी चाहती थी कि मेरा स्कूटर कोई खरीद ले, ठीक है, सपोज मैं चाहती थी मेरा स्कूटर खरीद ले, बट देन यू केम विद अ गन. आई वॉन्टेड टू सेल एक्चुअली, ठीक है. सो इट्स माई चॉइस नाउ, नॉट योर्स, इट्स माई चॉइस. इफ आई अग्री टू सेल, it's a valid. If I don't, it will become a void contract. ठीक. Next is void agreement. An agreement not enforceable by law is said to be void. An agreement not enforceable by law is said to be void. It is a void ab initio. Ab initio की meaning होती है right from the very starting. It's a void ab initio. There is an absence of one or more essentials of a valid contract, and so it's a void agreement. Contract तो बना ही नहीं, it's a void agreement. Example here is X supplies luxury good to Y, a minor, for a consideration of rupees 10,000. Y refused to make payment. X cannot enforce the agreement in the court of law since the agreement is void because Y is a minor. अभी मैंने आपको बताया minor के साथ सारे contracts क्या होते हैं, वो void होते हैं. Exceptions are there. अभी हम exceptions में नहीं जा रहे हैं, we are just taking it in a general sense, right? So it's a very kind of void agreement. Next is illegal agreement. So an agreement which is prohibited by law or against the policy of law is known as illegal agreement. It is also void ab initio. तो जब से आपने बनाया है ना, तभी से illegal है और void है, ठीक है. An agreement is illegal and void if its object or consideration is forbidden by law. आपने murder का contract किया, आपने चोरी का contract किया, is of such nature that is permitted, it would defeat the provisions of any law, is fraudulent in its nature, involves or implies injury to a person or property of another, and the last, the court regards it as immoral or opposed to public policy. ठीक है. So this kind of contract is known as illegal agreement. So these are basically not a contract altogether. They are just illegal agreements, that's all. Example is X agrees to kill Y if Z pays rupees 10,000. So anything related to killing, murder, poaching, theft, these kind of contracts can be never said to be a contract altogether. Coming on next, agreement discovered to be void. Agreement discovered to be void. An agreement whose void nature becomes known to parties only subsequent to its formation. बनाते समय मुझे और आपको लगा बड़ा वैलिड है, बनाने के बाद समझ में आया कि ये तो वॉइड है, ठीक है. व्हाट कैन बी द एग्जाम्पल? X agrees to sell his car to Y, both not knowing that the car has been badly damaged in the accident the previous night. ठीक है, मेरा बेटा था, रात में चुपके चुपके कार प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए चुपके चुपके लेके चला गया, फिर रात को एक्सीडेंट करके ले आया, मुझे पता नहीं. ठीक है, हम यही करते हैं, वी डोंट टेल आवर पेरेंट्स. जब हम अपनी स्कूटी और साइकिल और कार लेके जाते हैं पहली बार, वी डोंट टेल आवर पेरेंट्स, राइट. उसने सेम यही चीज़ करी. माई चाइल्ड डिड नॉट टेल मी कि रात को तो एक हो गया बड़ा एक्सीडेंट, धक्का मार के कार हमने वापस ले आई और चुपचाप खड़ा कर दिया. एंड नो बडी हैज़ द गट्स टू टेल, क्योंकि मैं डांटूंगी. आई कॉल्ड यू टू सेल माई कार, वी अग्रीड, राइट. यू इवन पेड मी सम एडवांस, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गया. आप घर गए, मैं बड़ी खुश, मैंने कहा चाबी लाओ. जब कार देखी तो वो कार पूरी डैमेज. इट्स नॉट इवन गुड टू सेल, द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज नॉट देयर, agreement discovered to be void. Next, unforeseeable contract. A contract is good in substance but is not as per the provisions of Indian Contract Act 1872 and hence cannot be enforced by law, is called unenforceable contract. They are neither void nor voidable. ठीक है, unenforceable, हमारे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट को फॉलो ही नहीं करता, and so cannot be said to be legal or illegal. Coming on next, difference between void agreement and voidable contract. Please go through the slide. Hope you understand this well now. Void agreement and voidable contract. तो voidable contract क्या है? It is a contract, but you can avoid it at the will of the aggrieved party. But in case of void agreement, an agreement not enforceable by law is void. Ab initio, void ab initio क्या होगा? So void agreement is void from the beginning, but a voidable contract is not void when made and remains valid till it is rescinded by one of the parties. एक पार्टी जब तक मना नहीं कर देती जो अग्रीव थी, तब तक ये वैलिड है. Enforceability cannot be enforced by any party, continues to be enforceable as long as both the parties give their consent. And fourth missing element, enforceability by law is there. In case of voidable contract, free consent of the party is actually missing. So these are the differences. Next slide, difference between void and illegal agreement. Please go through the slide, difference between void agreement and illegal agreement. I have just discussed it. Is this clear or any point is not understandable? Which one? Void ab initio. Ab initio वर्ड की मीनिंग होती है स्टार्टिंग से ही. सो void है फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग इट सेल्फ. Is this clear? Please, all of you can pay attention and read these slides. बेटा क्या हो रहा है पीछे? क्या हो रहा है वहाँ पे? हाँ, व्हाट इज़ द अट्रैक्शन देयर? बताओ। See, phone will be there after this hour is over. So you all can pay attention this side also. फ़ोन तो आपके पास ही रहने वाला है. और फ़ोन के बिना भी देखो जी के कैसा लगता है. थोड़ी देर सांस आती है कि नहीं आती है, घबराहट होती है कि नहीं होती है, भूख लगती है कि नहीं लगती है. हो सकता है आप में से किसी की सांस रुकनी शुरू हो जाए अगर फ़ोन हट जाए तो. कोई ऐसा है जिसको ब्रीदिंग प्रॉब्लम होती है फ़ोन नहीं रहने पे? हाँ, ट्राई करके देखो, बिना फ़ोन के भी ना सांस ली जा सकती है. यू कैन ऑलवेज ब्रीथ वेल. आपके सांसों का कनेक्शन ऑक्सीजन से है, फ़ोन से नहीं है. ट्राई करके देखो. किसी का बीपी तो नहीं बढ़ रहा? सब ठीक हो ना? मैंने सबका फ़ोन नीचे रखवा दिया है. तो आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग, किसी को कोई हेल्थ इश्यूज़ हो रहे हो तो बताओ. वी नीड टू रश टू द डॉक्टर फर्स्ट. सांस सबको आ रही है ठीक से? किसी का बीपी तो नहीं बढ़ रहा? किसी को घबराहट हो रही है? नहीं, सब नॉर्मल है क्लास में. देखो, यू कैन डू इट. आप बिल्कुल आराम से जियोगे बिना फ़ोन के भी थोड़ी देर. हैव यू रेड द स्लाइड? ऑल डन? इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम? नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ फॉर्मेशन. ठीक है. So on the basis of formation, we have express contract, implied contract and quasi contract. So what is express contract? The contract is said to be an express contract when terms of contract have been agreed upon between the parties expressly, that is it can be an oral or it can be written at the time of formation. So जब आप clearly बोलते हो या लिख के बताते हो that this is the offer, this is the acceptance, you know, this is the proposal, this is the promise, and so when you make contract even verbally or maybe by written, then it is very much expressed. There are certain situations when we don't do this, still the contract gets formed. हम कई बार ऐसी situation encounter करते हैं where I actually don't say anything nor in words nor I make a written contract, फिर भी contract बन जाता है. बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होता है. यू मस्ट हैव सीन व्हेन यू ड्राइव ऑन द रोड्स. सो ऑन द रेड लाइट्स एक छोटा बच्चा आता है विद अ क्लॉथ. ठीक है. और वो बच्चा क्या करने लगता है? आपकी गाड़ी को क्लीन करने लगता है. एंड यू डोंट से एनीथिंग टू दैट चाइल्ड. ठीक है. आप पूरी आगे की विंडो क्लीन कराते हो, पीछे क्लीन कराते हो, पूरी कार क्लीन कराते हो. ठीक है. देन यू आर ऑल्सो अंडर द ऑब्लिगेशन टू पे. सिमिलरली एक बूट पॉलिश, अभी तो हम शू पॉलिश बहुत कम करवाने लगे हैं, बट अर्लियर इट यूज्ड टू हैपन अलॉट बिकॉज दैट टाइम वी यूज्ड टू वेयर दोज काइंड ऑफ पर्टिकुलर ऑफिस शूज आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. सो सपोज यू आर सिटिंग इन CP एंड अ पर्सन कम्स एंड स्टार्ट पॉलिशिंग योर शूज and you don't say anything, mat karo, and mat karo it's a word. Okay, so suppose you are keeping your foot like that and you don't pull it back, it gives a indication that you are agreeing for that service. अगर आपने चप्पल ऐसे, जूते ऐसे रखे हैं और वो आकर के साफ कोई करने लगा, तो दैट मीन्स इफ़ यू आर नॉट पुलिंग योर लेग बैक, इट मीन्स यू आर अग्रीइंग. अगर आपको नहीं करवाना तो जस्ट पुल योर लेग बैक और से समथिंग, नहीं करवाना. ठीक है, कुछ तो बोलोगे. If you are keeping yourself quiet and you are asking that cleaner to keep on cleaning your shoes, you are obligated to pay, guys. ठीक है. Why? Because there is an offer and an acceptance. That person offered the service by starting cleaning. You accepted by not saying anything. You accepted the service by even being quiet. आपने अपने कंडक्ट से उसकी सर्विस को एक्सेप्ट कर लिया. And so offer and acceptance is there, free consent is there, and every other valid elements are there, and so a contract is made. Here also an example is written, A stops a taxi by waving his hand and boards it. कई बार ऐसा होता है हम ऑटो को सिर्फ हाथ देते हैं और बैठ जाते हैं, ठीक है, और कहते हैं चलो चलो जल्दी चलो, ठीक है, सो दैट यू स्टार्ट, क्योंकि कई बार ट्रैफिक बहुत होता है, सो यू जस्ट कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू फर्स्ट नेगोशिएट ऑन द प्राइस एंड द प्लेस, ठीक है, सो यू जस्ट सिट इन देयर बिकॉज एवरीबडी इज हॉन्किंग फ्रॉम द बैक कि आगे बढ़ो, यू जस्ट सिट इन देयर, ओके. सो वंस यू सिट इन देयर एंड द ऑटो वाला स्टार्ट्स ड्राइविंग, यू आर ऑब्लिगेटेड टू पे. दोस्त ने शुरू में बोला नहीं कि कितना पैसा आप दोगे और वो कितना लेगा, ठीक है, आपने बस बैठे एंड यू सेड यू नो मे बी दिस मेट्रो स्टेशन, आई वॉन्ट टू गो एट दिस मेट्रो स्टेशन, और वो चल गया. नाउ व्हेन यू हॉप ऑफ देयर यू आर ऑब्लिगेटेड टू पे. आप कहो कि भैया आपने तो पैसा बोला नहीं था कि लोगे, ठीक है. सो even if the bhaiya is quiet and is not asking money, it does not mean that the bhaiya service is free of cost. You have to make that payment, right? So these are known as implied contract which happens because of the conduct of the parties. Third is a quasi contract. Quasi contract is a contract where very interestingly two parties don't intend to make a contract. मेरा को आपसे कोई contract बनाना नहीं है, I don't even think of, फिर भी हम दोनों में एक contract बन जाता है. Why? Because the law recognizes our situation a kind of a contractual situation. हम ऐसी situation में पहुंच गए where the contract is seen by the law, maybe not by you and by me. कौन सी सिचुएशन हो सकती है? नाउ द सिचुएशन इज सपोज यू मीट मी समवेयर एंड यू ब्रिंग अ बैग. अक्सर होता है दैट वी कीप अ बैग, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई हैव केप्ट इट हियर एंड सडनली यू नो यू लीव फ्रॉम देयर. कई बार दिमाग से उतर जाता है दैट आई हैव केप्ट समथिंग देयर एंड यू मिस इट एंड यू गो बैक होम. Now just because you left your article there at my home or maybe in my office somewhere, does it now belong to me? आप कोई चीज़ गलती से छोड़ जाओ तो क्या वो मेरी हो जाएगी? नहीं होगी, ठीक है, you all agree with that कि मेरी नहीं होगी. So what shall I do? Now number one, I should ideally return it back to you. I should make an effort, maybe I should call you, or maybe some other ways I should try to connect you that your article is here, maybe you come and pick, or maybe sometime if I happen to be with you I will return it. और दूसरा ऑप्शन क्या है? सपोज वो आर्टिकल कुछ ऐसा है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इट्स अ 6 pieces ऑफ बनाना. आप मेरे पास आए थे, आप उस समय बनाना कैरी करते हुए आए थे. You know it, banana is going to last for 1 day or 2 day, उसके बाद वो ख़राब हो जाएगा, ठीक है. एंड यू सेड कि मैम अभी तो मैं बहुत दूर आ गया, प्रॉब्ली अब तो नहीं आ पाऊँगा, सो ठीक है देखते हैं. एंड आई थॉट कि ठीक है ये तो एनी वे इज़ गोइंग टू बी रॉटन सून इन अ डे और 2, सो बेटर आई ईट इट और आई ऑफर टू समबडी एल्स टू ईट इट, लेट मी यूटिलाइज इट. खाने को क्यों बर्बाद करना है, तो लेट मी ईट इट. मैंने खा लिया. But please do understand that banana was not mine, that was yours. So I am obligated to make payment to you for those 6 bananas. So there can be certain situations where we don't intend to be a contracting party or we don't want to make a contract. But then because of certain situations, law says that you are standing at a contractual position only, and so you have to do and act in a particular manner as a contracting party only. These contracts are known as quasi contracts. Coming on next, on the basis of performance, executed contract, executory contract, and there is one more on the next slide. So a contract, see, a contract creates an obligation on both the sides. So if I say I will give you my pen and you say I will pay you 10 rupees, so हम दोनों की obligation है that I shall hand over my pen to you and you should hand over a 10 rupee note to me. That's obligation of two sides. In every contract, there is an obligation created for both the parties, right? So when both the parties have done their part, क्या बातें बेटा उधर क्या बातें चल रही हैं? देखो उसको मेरी आवाज़ भी नहीं सुनाई दे रही है. You had a gap here, right? तो अभी पढ़ लो. I think you have taken a long break from your studies. हाँ, क्लास में पढ़ने आए हो ना, तो पढ़ लेते हैं. So I was talking about the obligation. So the point is that if obligation of both the parties are already completed, मैंने आपको पेन दे दिया, आपने मुझे 10 का नोट दे दिया, it is known as executed contract. Contract is already executed. Other is known as executory contract. If a contract is pending, obligation is pending from one side or both the sides, then it is known as executory contract. Where the parties of the contract, one party has already completed and the other is yet to complete. You can also see it in this way, that for me it's an executed and for you it's an executory. But by and large, it will be known as executory contract rather than executed. Executed will happen only when both the parties has finished their part of obligation. Third, contingent contract. So a contract is contingent when a contract to do or not to do something if some collateral or such event happen or does not happen. As I say that, see, I promise that I will do something in the evening if it rains today. So if it rains, then I will do it. If it doesn't rain, I will not do it. Okay? I made a promise to you on your behalf. Suppose आप कहीं busy थे और मैं और आप discussion कर रहे थे. You wanted to sell certain shares in the stock market. You said, ma'am, I will be little busy around 2 to 3 p.m. 3 बजे stock market बंद हो जाता है. So can you sell my shares on my behalf if the share price of this stock reaches to this certain level? So if the stock reaches to that certain level, then only I will sell, otherwise I will not sell. So this is contingent contract. A promise to pay B a sum of money if a certain ship returns within a year. The contract may be enforced if the ship returns within the year. If the ship gets lost in the sea, the agreement will become null and void. वो जब एपिसोड हुआ ही नहीं तो आगे का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट null and void है. A agrees to pay B 1000 rupees if two straight lines meet in space. The agreement is void as it is impossible act. ये हमारा पूरा का पूरा void agreement का केस है, where it shows that in case I say that the two lines can meet in the space, ideally cannot be traced. हम space में कहाँ जाके देखेंगे? So it's totally void contract. Coming on next, and the last kind of classification, that is based on the obligation. Bilateral contract and unilateral contract. A bilateral contract is one in which both the parties' obligations are outstanding at the time of formation of a contract. जहाँ दोनों की obligation बची है वो bilateral है. Unilateral. A contract is said to be unilateral where one party has performed their obligation at the time of formation of the contract or even before, and the performance of obligation is outstanding on the part of other party at the time of formation. तो अगर एक ने अपना obligation पूरा कर दिया है, दूसरे ने नहीं किया है, it is known as a unilateral contract again. For example, here X buys a railway ticket for journey from Amritsar to Delhi, right? X has performed his obligation under the contract by paying the fare. टिकट खरीदा, पैसे दिए, X का काम पूरा हो चुका है even at the time of making the contract. बचा किसका काम है? ट्रेन का काम, रेलवेज का काम बचा है कि X को ले करके अमृतसर पहुंचा दें, राइट? Now blanketly all the kinds of classification has been over. Now this is a concept of e-contracts which can be applicable anywhere, right? So all the contracts made on cyberspace are e-contracts. All the contracts which are made on the cyberspace are e-contracts. You must have even made many of these e-contracts. So please do remember, when you download any software in the phone, suppose maybe WhatsApp, maybe Twitter, maybe Facebook, maybe what all not social media you use, क्या होता है? Snapchat, Instagram. So when you download these applications over the phone, it says install. After installation, it asks you to click somewhere and write I agree. Have you done that? हम I agree बिना पढ़े कर देते हैं क्योंकि वो long एक terms and conditions होती हैं. So we don't actually read them, but we tick it and say I agree, and so then you press next, and so the app gets installed on your phone. वो कुछ नहीं, वो एक e-contract का example है, and that kind of e-contract is known as web wrap agreements or click wrap agreements. The agreements which you click and make a contract. The other kind of agreement, e-contracts, can be shrink wrap agreements. These agreements or the contracts are made by providing the terms and conditions along with the packaged product. Okay? So there can be some packaged product where terms and conditions of use of that electronic software or something can be written. So when you use it, you agree that you will abide by the terms and conditions based for the functionality of that item. Now e-contracts are derived, e-contracts have derived their validity from the Information Technology Act of 2000, and these are also used as Indian evidence under the Indian Evidence Act 1872. Okay? So any electronic proof is taken as a sufficient evidence, right? So if you record certain things, if you show certain picture, it's taken as a complete proof under the Evidence Act. All provisions applicable to a face-to-face contract are also applicable to e-contracts unless specified otherwise. A contract made through a chatbot is a valid contract. Chatbot जानते हो क्या चीज़ है? What's a chatbot? What is a chatbot, guys? AI, हाँ हाँ AI सही कह रहे हो. आजकल आप देखो कोई भी ऐप पे जाओ ना, सभी ऐप में एक फीचर आ गया है कि हमसे बातें करिए. इन केस यू हैव एनी क्वेरी जस्ट टाइप द क्वेरी. वो AI गवर्न्ड होता है, राइट? ठीक है, तो बॉट मतलब रोबोट का शॉर्ट फॉर्म है बॉट, और जब आप उसको यूज़ करते हो चैट के रिप्लाईज करने में, बड़े इसके स्टेपल से आंसर होते हैं. सो नो मैटर व्हाट यू आस्क, उनके पास जो क्वेश्चन आंसर के सेट हैं वो उसी में से रिप्लाई आपको देगा. ठीक है, सो चैट बॉट, आप चैटिंग कर रहे हो लेकिन आप किससे कर रहे हो? किसी रोबोट से कर रहे हो, rather than from a human being. So as a human, if you write me something, I will understand and try to resolve it. But chatbot क्या करता है? They have certain set of queries and certain set of answers. In case you ask something different, they will say sorry, I couldn't understand your query, or see, in case what I am writing, if your question is related to these, वो कहता है मेरे ही question में से question पूछो, otherwise I will not be able to answer. I hope you must have witnessed. So these are known as e-contracts. How much time is pending? Okay, so I think time is almost up, and here the concept I am now summarizing whatever we have discussed up to now, that is offer, acceptance. Though in the coming lessons we have to read more about what offer is and how the offer has to be made. Similarly, we have to read more about acceptance and how the acceptance has to be made. Then we read about the enforceability and lawful consideration and object, and so when all these things come together in a valid manner, then we can say that we have made a valid contract. So up to now we have done this part of it, and from the next class I am going to start with the offer and acceptance in detail. Okay? So thank you. In case you have any query, you can ask me. कोई पार्ट जो नहीं क्लियर हुआ हो, you can always ask me, guys. क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछने के दो कारण हो सकते हैं. टीचर ने बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाया, ये मैं मान के चल रही हूँ. दूसरा कुछ समझ ही नहीं आया. I hope the first is the correct answer, not the second one. कुछ समझ नहीं आया, ऐसा तो नहीं है? समझ में आ गया? Great.